Hey everyone, welcome back to D-Education. How are you today? First, I would like to thank you for liking and subscribing to my channel. It means so much to me. I'm so tiny, you know? Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Now, in this video, I want to tell you about the craziest experience I've had in my life. I was 20 years old when I left for Beijing, China, and I've stayed there for 6 years. I studied there in college, I worked there, and I'm so glad I did it. It's been truly amazing. I'm so grateful for that. I'm gonna tell you why now. So in this video, again, I'm gonna tell you what I've learned from this experience. As you can imagine, I could tell you 1,000 things, but here are the things that stuck with me the most eye-opening, and the ones that I really keep at heart. So number one is every belief I had completely changed. So when you live in a reality so different from yours, you start seeing things from a different perspective. So what you thought was right, wrong, a big problem, or nothing, you realize that it could be seen from a totally different perspective. And this is just eye-opening. Now, to give you an example, I want to tell you one that probably you can relate to. And that is, I don't want to go to class. I don't want to go to school. We've all been there, right? So you feel lazy, you don't want to go, it's just whatever reason. And so this day back in 2015, I guess, I was very tired. I just had lunch. I just wanted to nap in my room. I didn't want to go to class, but I did. Thank God I did, because it was a class that would change the way I look at things to this day. And that is, I think, geography class, and the teacher prepared a presentation. We were talking about how life is different in rural China than in big cities China. And of course, I'm talking about China because that's what I've studied, but I know for sure that these things happen everywhere around the world. And for someone like me who cares so much about education, it's like de-education, it's my life. This was so touching, and it really made me angry and sad, but it was important for me to notice, and that is that some kids in rural China don't have access to education as you know, you don't just, I'm saying you because, just the fact that you're watching this video and you have an internet connection, that makes you part of the privileged people. So some kids might have to walk, under the rain and snow for like an hour or two to get to school. They want to educate themselves so much that they would go through all of this at 8, 9 years old. So when I've heard all this and I've seen the pictures, it just made me actually angry, but also at myself, because like, how could I be here complaining that I have to walk, stairs to go to class, and someone else has to go through all that just to get an education? So that really made me, see things from a different perspective. So saying things like, I don't want to go to school, I don't want to go, I'm just going to stay home and play video games or whatever, really changes once you understand how privileged you are to have an education. Now a funny example. I don't want to keep things sad, and that is something that happened to me in 2019, I guess, just a month before actually going back to Italy. So keep in mind that I had been living in China for 6 years already when this happened. So this is why it's so wonderful to me, by the way, because every day you are exposed to culture, mentality, background, different mentalities, and it's amazing. So I was getting ready to get off work, and I was just talking to this former colleague of mine that I'm honored to call my friend. And she was telling me, yeah, I'm gonna go home on foot because actually I live at a walking distance from here. And I'm like, oh, you're so lucky. I have to commute for an hour to go home. And she's like, oh, my mom would never let me do that. Keep in mind also that she was 27 at the time. So with my mentality, my background, I don't know if it's Italian or just my mentality. I don't want to generalize, but my mentality, you're 27 and your mom doesn't let you do something. For me, there was something off. So I asked, like, what do you mean she doesn't let you? Is it because she's worried because it's not, I don't know, maybe safe? Parents are worried about safety. So no, it is safe. It's just that I might get too tired. I understand it, I say. And so does she live here? I asked her. And she gave me the look like, what are you saying? And I'm like, what? She's like, she lives back in my hometown. It's like 3-hour drive from here. So I was even more puzzled at that point because I'm like, your mom doesn't live with you. So she doesn't know where you live, yet you live where she wants you to live, even if it's not a place that you like. I mean, I didn't know if she liked it or not, but with my mentality, there was something off. And so I just had to ask her, but what if you wanted to live somewhere you liked better? Now she gave me that amazing puzzle look, the same one that I had given her. And she just said, my parents know best. They love me. If they think this is the best for me, then so be it. And that came from such a place of love that what I thought was wrong, I thought it was overbearing and I thought it was a pressure from parents. They don't let you be independent, my mentality. She just gave me a different perspective of, your parents know more. They brought you to this world. They care so much about you. They are wise enough to know what's best for you. And that was a completely different perspective that I hadn't considered. And for me, this was eye-opening. This happened so many times, of course. And so the fact that you just get out of your belief system, that was one of the things that I'm most grateful for this experience, because it really makes you realize, hey, what you think might not be true. And it might not even be right or wrong. It might just be different from other people. So amazing. Now, point number 2 is culture makes up a big part of who we are. So we do have our inner voice, our own self, and ultimately that's who we are. But the place we're born and raised in, the language we speak, the people we surround ourselves with, and what they think, what society thinks as a whole, has a huge impact on us. We are our own culture. We cannot separate ourselves from it. And this is all beautiful, but that makes me think, is what I think what I really think and believe, or is it because it's my culture that makes me think a certain way? Existential questions, I know. But an example of this is family. Family is a central part of the Chinese culture. Everything revolves around the child. So from the education he or she gets, to the parent's job, to where the family lives, everything is done to provide the best for the child. There isn't the mentality of having a child and just letting him or her figure out a way to grow up. And according to where you come from in the world, you might find this overbearing or necessary. You might find it right or wrong. And again, this is amazing for me because it really makes me question, is what I think really right? objectively right, or is it just a result of me being born and raised here? Again, this makes you do a lot of self-reflection, I guess. Now, point number 3 is language too influences the way we are. You know, I love languages. That's what this channel is about, actually, education, languages. So, of course, this is one of the aspects that really stuck with me. And, you know, scientists have proven already, thank you, that languages actually shape the way we think. And to give you an example, of course, I'm going to give you the example of the Chinese language. Now, the Chinese language goes back like 5,000 years ago. People would make divinatory inscriptions on turtle shells and oracle bones. And that way of, let's say, drawing a concept remained in the language. So what you see today is a set of characters, each one defining a concept. And each character might be made up of one or more parts. The example I want to bring you is the character Hao. You might have heard it in Ni Hao, that means hello. So Hao means good, fine. And it is made up of 2 parts. On the left, you can see a woman, a mother. On the right, you can see a child. The character means good, fine, because whenever a mother is with her own child, everything is fine. Isn't this amazing and beautiful? How can that not shape the way we think? I like to think, maybe I'm wrong, but I like to think that when you know this, again, educate yourself. When you know this, every time you see, you read or write this character, you're actually reminded of that on some level. And again, how can that not shape the way we think? Now, point number 4 is no matter how different we are, we all want to live our best life. So, we're all humans. We all have the same needs, just different ones. Ultimately, regardless of what country you come from, the language you speak, and the religion you believe in, we all seek happiness. We all want to be happy. This may sound like something, I don't know, maybe dumb, but actually, it really changed me. Sometimes I find that we tend to be stuck on a superficial level, so we tend to just look at how different we are from one another, and by different, I mean, of course, in a bad way, because when you understand the differences are what make us so unique, that's beautiful. But in this context, I'm saying different, like there's a barrier between us, you know, different people. But when you understand that our nature is the same, we all want happiness, we all want to live our best life, and we all want peace. To me, this is beautiful because in a moment you don't see difference, you just see the nature of the other human being. You see a creature of love. So profound today. Anyway, so to give you an example, I could make many, but I have chosen this one because it's really in my heart. And that is, I remember when I was in college in Beijing, group of us, maybe 8 to 10 people, would go to the school's canteen for dinner. And of course, at first we would talk about our day and how were the lessons and the professors, but then we would also get to a deeper level and we would share our hopes and dreams, our plans for the future. What do you do after you graduate? What do you do after school? So good things, but also bad things like worry and, you know, fears. So in a moment, you don't see, you know, a language barrier, different country. You just see like we're all one and the same. So you don't see like Mexico, Algeria, Nicaragua, you just France, whatever. You just see people. You just see that we really are, again, human beings. And for me, this is just amazing. Now, point number 5 is find a way to live abroad at least once in your life, or travel. So, when I started writing the script for this video, I didn't exactly know what to write because there are so many things I could tell you about my life in China. And by the way, if you're interested, let me know in the comments. What would you like to hear? But I knew that I would end up telling you this, like find a way to travel. Even better to live abroad, but even just travel, like 2 days, even in your own country. Just change your environment every once in a while, because you really start seeing the things that I've talked about, like people have different mentalities, and it makes you just have an open mind and be kind at heart. No matter how different we are, we all want, happiness. So I really wish that you can travel. Just, I don't know, maybe be an au pair or apply for a scholarship. Just find a way, but travel. Trust me, I believe that nothing gives you what traveling does. So I actually want to end this video by thanking, first and foremost, China. Thank you, China, for taking me in, for welcoming me, and for always treating me right, for taking care of me, and for making me grow as a person and as a human being. Thank you to the amazing people I've met along the way and the lifelong friends I've met. I cannot imagine my life without you guys. Thank you to my parents for working so hard to give me this opportunity and for always supporting me, always. Thank you, God, for always keeping an eye on me, always. And thank you, me also, for always keeping on going, making me through it all. And of course, thank you guys for watching this video. I will see you next time.